Hey guys, we are back with some more of Wolfsburg Wolves franchise mode, and in this one, we have to start out by making a trade because we currently still have Johan Karlsson on board, who is an RFA, and we don't really have the money to, we do have the money to technically offer him, but we don't have a spot for him on the team because when you take a look at our forwards, you have Aho, Weiss, Mayer, Homer, Niederberger, Point, Zanetti, Goddard, Stahlberg, Albrecht, Miller, Jost, Beck, McLeod is also coming up, and then Hensick. We just have so many forwards. Karlsson doesn't really fit into it anymore, so I figured we'll trade him to a rebuilding team in the Washington Capitals, and we'll just be trading for a couple of picks here. Now, we could technically take Washington's second, but since they're rebuilders, I'm going to be nice to them, and we're going to take Columbus's second, which is less valuable, but we'll also take their fourth for this year. So Karlsson for a second and a fourth from Washington. Proposed trade. There you go. So with that being done, I think we can advance. There's not much else that we need to do here in this offseason, as we took care of it in most of it in the last video. But I think it does need to be said right away that this is probably the last year for this older core that we have to be competing for the Stanley Cup, because we've been running these guys for a long time. Guys like Point, Lindholm, Jones, and this team has very high expectations. Ever since that first run, we have been consistent contenders, and we still haven't lived up to that. So I think one more year, this is the last year for guys like Point, Jones, just guys that we had for a long time that have made our team very good and who are now getting up there in age. My point is, if we can't win the cup this year, then there's going to be some changes, and the chances of it being guys like Homer or Aho and Kuleshov being moved out is slim to none. So that's why I'm saying we move out some of the older guys like Point, who wants a raise, Jones, Lindholm, guys like that, Provorov. And then at that point, that means the veterans on the team would become Homer, Aho, and Kuleshov, the guys that have been with us for a long time and will continue to be with us. We are now here at the start of year number 12, so let's check out all the growth for our guys. Goaltenders, Rodin and Climie didn't change. Defensively, Kuleshov is an 89, Lindholm's an 87, so Lindholm, even though he's been on the top 6 for us basically every year, he's barely decreased in overall at all. He was an 88 when we got him. He's an 87 now. So he's been good to us so far. Provorov, 87. Jones is an 86. So Jones is starting to drop down a little bit. Bohinski is an 82. And of course, Ludman, who we just got out of the draft, stayed an 80. Forwards, Aho is a 90. Niederberger, an 88. So he grew from a 86. Weiss, Homer, and Mayer, all 87s. Zanetti and Point, 84. Goddard and Beck, 83. So Beck is an 83 now. Even though he didn't play much last year, I don't think. Yeah, only 3 games. So that's some tremendous growth out of Sean Beck. Maybe we'll even see him on the third line this year. Stahlberg, 82. Albrecht, 82. McLeod is an 81 now as well. Jost, 81. Miller, 80. So that means in the system we have Alvin Hensick as well, who's an 80 now. So we're probably going to have to bring him up. Yeah, that's what I'll do right now, actually. So yeah, we have a decision to make, it looks like. Because, I mean, all these guys are ready. Rob McLeod is an 81. Beck is an 83, so he's definitely going to be part of the main lineup now. Alvin Hensick, the 80. So let's see what lines we can come up with here. It's bound to be interesting. So here are the lines for the start of year number 12. First line, Aho, Mayer, and Homer, same as usual. Second line, Weiss, Niederberger, and Point. Third line, Albrecht, Goddard, and Zanetti. Fourth line is Beck, Hensick, and Stahlberg. Defensively, I believe is the same as last year, minus Ludman. So there's Kuleshov and Jones, Provorov and Bohinski, and then Lindholm with Ludman. Power play, Mayer, Aho, and Point with Kuleshov and Jones. And that is Niederberger, Albrecht, and Homer with Zanetti and Bohinski. The four-man power play is Aho, Mayer, Kuleshov, and Jones, and then Point, Niederberger, Lindholm, and Bohinski. Penalty kill, Weiss, Beck, Lindholm, and Provorov. Then Zanetti, Mayer, Kuleshov, and Jones. And the 3-man penalty kill is pretty much the same. 4-on-4, Aho, Mayer, Kuleshov, and Jones. Point, Niederberger, Provorov, and Bohinski. Weiss, Homer, Lindholm, and Ludman. 3-on-3, Aho, Mayer, Jones. Point, Niederberger, Kuleshov, Weiss, Homer, and Bohinski. Extra attackers are Aho and Weiss. Shootout, Mayer, Kuleshov, Niederberger, Aho, and Weiss. Goalies, Rodin and Climby, of course. And then scratch, Jost, McLeod, and Miller. So it's kind of a logjam here at forward. We have 15 forwards on the NHL roster. It's definitely a logjam. We need to clear that up a little bit. And speaking of logjams, there is actually another logjam within the organization, but I don't know why I backed out. Not in the NHL, it is in the AHL on defense. You have Ho, who is a 77, Biaka Batuka, 79. He's our replacement defenseman for the NHL. Ferrero, Heward, Yaras, they're all very good for the AHL level. And I really want Matt Ho to get as good as he can possibly get. But if we have guys like Ferrero, Heward, and Yaras still on the team, then that's going to take away ice time from Matt Ho. Even though he's on the first defensive pair, it's still got to give ice time to all these guys, Ferrero, Heward, and Yaras as well. So I want Ho to be playing as much as possible. So that's why we're going to be trading these three, Ferrero, Heward, and Yaras. We'll be trading Yaras to Minnesota for their 3rd round pick and a 6th. Will that go through? Yes, it will. No brainer, apparently. Well, we just had to get him off the team. That's all I was concerned about. The next trade will be to the Winnipeg Jets. That'll be Ferrero going to Winnipeg for a 3rd, once again, and a 5th. So getting some depth picks for this year. Getting some older prospects out of here this year in exchange for some potential newer prospects coming in from this upcoming draft proposed trade. And they're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, apparently. That's fine by me. We didn't need Ferrero. We didn't need Yaras. I'll take the picks. And the last trade will be to the Edmonton Oilers. Now, in this one, we're going to be giving up more than just Heward. Because, as we saw before, there is a logjam at forward. And we are going to be trading away the veteran who we just re-signed in JT Miller. As they do want him. He's only making $1 million, so he fits perfectly into their budget, which they basically have 0 salary cap right now. So this is a good depth guy that they can add to their roster for basically nothing. And he's getting added to this deal with Heward. And coming back the other way will be Jet Wu. And look at their logjam on defense. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yoel Levy, Vandervelde, Broberg, Bouchard, Joseph, Pesci, Klingberg, Gooley, Wu. I mean, all these guys, Bennett, Greening, all these guys are 80 or above. So we're going to take Wu back for some defensive depth. And we're also going to be getting a 2nd round pick from them, as I believe they do want to give it up. Yes, they do. We'll take their 2nd round pick. So that'll be Heward and Miller to Edmonton for Wu and a 2nd. Will that go through? No. Quite far off, actually. All right. Well, do they have any 3rds? Yes, they do. We'll take this one. We'll try to get 2 3rds actually out of this, since we were trying to get the 2nd. So Heward and Miller for Wu and 2 3rds. Proposed trade rejected. We'll get Anaheim's 3rd off of here. So now it's just 1/3. Proposed trade. Trade accepted. There you go. So thank you, JT Miller, for everything that you have done for us to help us try to win the Stanley Cup. But there's just no more spots for you on this team. Even trading Johan Carlson, who wasn't going to fit on this team either. I mean, we still, even with Miller out of here, have 14 forwards who are capable of playing in the NHL. That's definitely not a bad thing. But we need to get some of them ice time. And I would rather not have that many guys sitting. And now the positive to that as well is that we got some defensive depth in Jet Wu, who, if we get any defensive injuries, he can step in pretty nicely, as opposed to Biaka Batuka, who obviously, he's a 79 overall, so he's not terrible, but I would definitely prefer to have Wu in there. So now the AHL defensive core is looking much better, at least in terms of not being a logjam. So I do want Mendoza playing. He was a draft pick, but Pettit, MacArthur, and Wingles, they don't necessarily need to be playing. So let's see if there's any prospects, defensive prospects that we have who we can sign and just step into the AHL team right away. So we signed James and Gray to bring into the AHL squad. We drafted them both. We drafted James in 2028 with the 5th round pick, and Gray as well in 2028 with our 7th round pick. Now let's check out captains and jerseys. Beck, number 53. McLeod, number 98. Hansik, of course, number 90. Ludman is 34. Wu, number 5. And there you go. There are the only differences in numbers. So there's everything we need to know prior to the regular season. So let's get up to the start of the regular season, and I'll see you guys there. So one more thing before we start out this year 12 simulation, we're going to turn the penalties up to 4 out of 4. We're going to experiment with this a little bit, start preparing for NHL 20, see what settings are going to work the best. And presuming everything stays the same in NHL 20, I'd like to figure out what settings to use right away. And since this GM mode is past year number 10, we can start experimenting with things a little bit. And right before we start the simulation, we're just going to make sure that all of our scouts are sent to different leagues, because we really don't need multiple scouts scouting in the same league. So Russia, Liga, SHL, Extra Liga, NLA, DEL, US East, Central, West, Q, O, Dub, AHL Atlantic, North, Central, and Pacific, NHL Atlantic, Metro, Central, Pacific. Very nice. Ooh, Hampus Lindholm injured with a mild concussion until October 26th. So that's why we trade for Wu. That's the third pair, right? Yeah, that'll just throw Jet Wu in there. I'm fine with that. Oi, Sean Beck has been injured with a pulled groin. That's the 4th line. That'll put one of McLeod or Jost in there. You know what? I'm going to get Rob McLeod in there. He's the rookie. We got to give him some time. So, welcome to the NHL, Rob McLeod. And Lindholm is fully healed and available to play in the team's next game, so we'll take Wu out of there. So we've finished October. We have yet to lose in regulation. We've had 3 losses, but they're all in extra time. But I'm not going to go through the stats right now, as it is actually, there's a storm right now, and I want to get through this as fast as possible so that the power doesn't go out and I lose all the recording. So we're just going to go, I would say, up to January. And then we're going to go over the stats, and then I'll cut things off. Want to keep this a short recording. Of course, Rob McLeod injured with a neck strain, so that's going to put Jost in there on the 4th line. So the kid gets in the NHL, then gets in. He gets into the NHL replacing an injured player, and then he himself gets injured, so now Jost has to get in there. So it's a good thing we kept some of our forwards there. And Sean Beck is fully healed and available to play in the team's next game, so we'll get Jost out. Matthias Albrecht has been injured with a concussion until December 30th. Alright, that sucks. So basically for the rest of the recording then. So we're going to get Beck up there on the 3rd line, and we'll put Rob McLeod back in there. Now that means McLeod's also on the power play. I'm going to get Beck on there instead, because Beck, I believe, he's a great puck skills category and 94 offensive awareness. So we're going to try Beck on here with Homer and Niederberger. So in November, we actually went 7-8. So I'm going to check real quick on our team stats to see if we're struggling anywhere in particular, such as maybe the power play or the penalty kill. And let's see where we're at here. So we're 22.1 for the power play. That's not bad. Penalty kill, that would do it. That would definitely do it. 71.4 penalty kill. 20 power play goals allowed on 70 opportunities. Alrighty. So the increased penalty sliders not helping us out here for sure. We're going to have to take a look at our penalty kill, it appears. How's Zanetti doing on face-offs? He is at a 36.84. Not where I'd like him to be. Let's get Aho on there on the penalty kill. Okay, can you keep Mayer on there? How's Beck doing defensively with his ratios? Yeah, he's good. He's doing pretty well so far, especially for being on the penalty kill as a rookie. 13-9 is the takeaway to giveaway ratio, so I don't think I want to take him off. Yeah, I don't want to take Sean Beck off of there. So maybe we just getting Aho on there is enough. What about the defense here? Takeaway to giveaway ratio for defensemen isn't quite the same as it is for forwards, because the defensemen are almost always going to have more giveaways than takeaways. But Lindholm in particular, 12-3 are the giveaways to takeaways. What about all the rest of these guys? Provorov, 18-11. So Lindholm is definitely the worst ratio for a defenseman so far. Kuleshov is good for an offensive defenseman there. And Jones, yeah. So I think I want to get Lindholm at least moved down to the second pair, if not off. But the thing is, my only other options at the moment are Bohinski and Ludman. I'm not sure if I want to throw Ludman right onto the penalty kill right like that in his rookie season. He's already kind of struggling with the giveaway to takeaway ratio, so I'm going to leave him off. Bohinski is kind of a power play specialist, so we'll just move Lindholm down so that he gets some less ice time on the penalty kill, and we'll do the same thing here. And Rodin's at a .906 save percentage at the moment. He could be doing a bit better, but we'll see how that is affected by the changes to the penalty kill, and the power play is doing just fine. We'll leave it alone, and let's see how the rest of the simulation treats us. And Matthias Albrecht is back, so we definitely got to get him back in the lineup. Important part of the third line. Rob McLeod, you got a great experience, it looks like. 6 points in 20 games, but we're going to have to get you out of there for the German Matthias Albrecht. Now, how's Beck done on the power play? 10 points so far. How many of those on the power play? 3? Not bad. But we're still going to get Albrecht back in there. And, of course, Sean Beck injured with a mild concussion until January 8th. So I believe this is either going to be McLeod or Jost. It may as well be McLeod. Get the rookie some more time. So we went 7-6 in that month. We're 20-12-5. So it's a good thing we started winning a lot in October because, I mean, we're still winning right now, but it's not as consistent as I'd like it to be for sure. And we're going to check out the stats real quickly here because you guys have probably been able to hear the storm that's going on in the background, the thunder and all that. And I'm not chancing any power outages. So we're going to just fly through these stats and get this episode all done and wrapped up. So Mayer with 39 points, Aho with 32, Homer with 25, Zanetti and Jones with 24, Point with 22, Kuleshov and Niederberger with 18, Albrecht with 16, Weiss with 14, Bohinski with 14, Hensick with 12, Beck with 10, Goddard with 9, Stahlberg with 7, Ludman with 7, Provorov with 7, McLeod with 6, Lindholm with 4, Jost with 2, and Jetwu with nothing. Faceoffs, Aho with a 54.5, Weiss with a 52.1, Albrecht with a 46.3, and who else is taking faceoffs here? Rob McLeod with a 40.2, so, I mean, our main guys are getting it done there. Aho and Weiss, they're both above a 50, but I'd like Albrecht, Jost, and McLeod, they could all be doing better. Hits-wise, Aho with 71, Provorov with 64, Homer with 60, Niederberger with 58, Zanetti with 53, Goddard with 50, Weiss with 47, Lindholm with 42, Jones with 40, Kuleshov with 38, Stahlberg with 30, Hensick with 24, Point with 14, man, that thunder. Mayer with 13, Beck with 12, Bohinski with 10, Ludman with 9, McLeod with 7, Albrecht with 5, Jones with 1, Wu with none. And takeaways to giveaways, takeaway master Todd Mayer, still the supreme reigning champion for takeaways to giveaways. Weiss 49-30, Beck 34-18, Niederberger 23-26, Homer 21-16, Zanetti 20-13, Goddard 18-19, Point 17-17, Stahlberg 17-6, Jones 16-33, Aho 15-24, Hensick 15-8, Albrecht 15-13, Provorov 13-34, Bohinski 12-26, Kuleshov 12-33, McLeod 8-13, Lindholm 7-21, Ludman 7-19, Jost 1-0, and Wu 0-0. Fights, Ludman with 5, so where's Stahlberg only with 1? Huh. Rodin, save percentage has gotten a little bit better, 909 save percentage, and Climby with a 922 in 10 games. 4 shutouts for Rodin, and the goals against average 259 for Rodin, 229 for Climby, and 1 assist as well for Rodin. So there you go, there's the player stats. Let's check out the team stats once more just to see where our penalty kill is at, see if it's better than the 71 I believe it was at before, and then we'll end things off. Goals for per game, we're at 3.03. Goals against per game, we are at a 259, so we're among the best in our division for both of those categories. Power play, we are at a 20.8. Could be better, could be worse. Penalty kill has got much better. It was at a 71.4, I believe it was before. We're now at a 79.7, meaning it's probably recently around a 78, 79. So I like the way that we're trending at the moment in terms of the penalty kill. We could overall, of course, be better, being 7-8 in November and then 7-6 in December. But we have the makings of a good team still. So obviously the playoff push is very much still alive. We're first in our division. There's not a whole lot to worry about, but we do need to keep winning to make sure that we stay atop of the division. So I'll leave you guys off here, and in the next one, we will continue with the Year 12 simulation. See you guys then.